Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It is me again with another book review. Today I am reading The God of the Woods by Liz Moore. I found this book interesting. It was it was too jumpy for me. So basically what this book is about is a boy gets lost in the woods and you're dealing with like the after effects of that, and you're also dealing with the investigation of it later on in the book. And other people go missing and stuff. So I don't know if there was supposed to be this supernatural identity to this book. It didn't seem like it when I was like reading it and how people talk about it. I don't think anybody mentioned like a supernatural thing. I'll have to look up reviews on this book maybe a little bit later to kind of get an understanding. But yeah, it reminded me of like Nine Perfect Strangers, that author, where it's a white, like a really rich white family in the suburbs, and then drama strikes. And that's what it felt like to me, but a little too jumpy. Um, and I did not like these characters. Like I I felt for Alice like all the way through with her husband being abusive. It didn't seem like she came up with a really good family life. Her sister was horrible, and then it's just like she puts herself down a lot because she's like, well, I'm not athletic, I'm not good at parties, and this and that. And I'm just like, okay, that's fine. I don't see the problem with that. But I guess it's the 1950s, and like the only thing she really has is like this 8-year-old boy, bear that is her son that disappears. Um, and I just that was like the thing about the whole story was I felt like it was more about like the grieving process and the idea of loss and then being haunted by loss is kind of how I took the story. Like, I don't want to spoil anything, but there's definitely scenes where you're like, okay, is this real? Is this not real? What's going on? Why do we have so many timelines? Like, why are we now getting the investigation? Because like like this happens in like 1960. Okay, 1975. I thought it was the 60s, but I guess it's the 70s. And I feel like the investigation doesn't happen until like maybe 76. Um, which I thought was weird. And the way they treat the woman detective was not great in this book. I mean, they were talking like she was like one of the first ones ever to be at that level, so I kind of understand. I try to put my mind in like the time period that like we're in, like when I read a book like this. But I'm just like, you guys can be better. Like, she's not a damsel in distress. And I felt like that was all the women in this book. Was like they were just all damsels in distress. And I'm like, okay, we are out of that stage. I would hope, but maybe in the 70s women acted like this. I don't know. It's born in 93, people. I have my own problems. I don't know anything before that, like personally. But I was just, I don't know. It was just like one of those books. If it was like more straightforward, like at the end, like when they were wrapping everything up, I was like, okay, like if that's what this was, that was fine. But it just felt like there was too many characters. It was very jumpy, and it needed to be more straightforward. and less characters. Like, it's okay to have multi-perspective things going on, like, because it's like you can have, like, okay, you have the parents' perspective, you have this gardener's perspective, which he was really weird. And then you have the detective's perspective. But I felt like you had more, like, just everybody was involved, and I'm like, okay, like, one or two characters was fine. Sorry, guys. But I'm like, at the end of the day, I was just like, I needed it to be, like, more, like, concise, and, like, less of the jumpy, less characters. Like, I needed it to be, like, a little bit cleaned up a little bit. I don't know. She has another book if anybody's interested. I'm only giving this like a 2.53 star. I'm not, I might not even be like the audience for this book. I'm not much of a mystery thriller person, but I feel like that's not always what's needed when you're reading something like that. Like, I feel like all books like have this thing where if you're just not enjoying the structure, you're just not going to enjoy the structure. And I think that was my problem in this book, was I just did not like the structure. But anyways, like and subscribe. I am here Thursdays and Sundays. Thursdays for books, Thursdays for media, Sunday for books. Man, I'm messing up my days. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.